All right, Friday swing day for gold, euro dollar. Swing day for, that's it, just gold and euro dollar, which actually look like better stuff to trade today. Let's take a look at gold. Now with gold, this green box was a target, as you know, and I did say you could sell off into there. If you sold down into here, you're good. All right, so today's a swing day. Now two things can happen today. What I'd like to see happen, okay, because we're at the lows, right, so the market came down. Swing day, you want to look for an up move, right? Where to go for that up move? Well, the hours I've posted here. So if the market comes back down, okay, if the market comes down first to go up, it's better for us. If it keeps going up, we might find it hard to stick our heads in, because if it starts pushing up, then it just might not come back. It just might be a flow day, right? So from yesterday's trading hour down here, it could just be, flowing all the way into the US, and then next week it could be like a sell thing. Okay, so this is why if it comes down first, it's a good opportunity to buy, but it's got to be, like I said, it's an intraday trade. Okay, it's an intraday trade, because our first target is going to be 3276, which is there. All right, so it's not, it's only $20 away. So going there, the market may have a sell reaction. The sell reaction can push us all the way down. Okay, if it's at a trading hour, it can push us all the way down into the weekly support, which is, as you know, from Monday, 1150. So this place can be the Friday swing low as well. All right, so we have to be a little careful, but if it keeps going up, then obviously we're going to hit a high, and then next week we'll look to sell. If the market retraces a little bit, if it doesn't fill this gap, let's also be a little technical. If it doesn't fill the gap, but it pulls back into a trading hour, into here or here, then go up with it. Okay, do that, right? But if it filled the gap and we're here, and that's a good buy kiss on the price, this is no place to be buying. So if you want to buy, do it at a low to push up. If you're going to sell, do it at a high to push down. Okay, and that's how it is. Either way, it's a swing day. We're at the lows, so buying any retracement at a trading hour to push up as an intraday trade, I think is okay. All right, I wish I was up for trading around morning hours, because morning hours were good. Okay, never mind. So this is 5:30, so 4:15. 5:30 is going to be there. So we had 5:30 right there. Okay, just on there. And then we had 3:40, didn't we? 3:30, that's 3:40 there. And that's it basically. So market like buying. And if it doesn't pull back, like I said, it'll be a flow day. It'll go all the way into New York. And, it'll be difficult to find a place to get in. There's going to be a bit of a disruptive move. That's going to happen as we get to 1 o'clock. So as we get there, so from like 10:30, 11 o'clock or whatever, as we get towards that 1 o'clock, we're going to have a sudden disruption move done. So that time is important. Okay, that 1 o'clock. All right. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. Now, euro dollar Friday swing day. Okay, so I drew this ages ago. So, we're in here. Now we fell in here, which is what we wanted to do. Impulse wave, retracement into a swing day, push down into the spot. Now I did say this zone is likely to break. I still think that's the case, okay? But because we're doing intra-week swing days, it's not major swing days, but you know, we can get in and out during the day because we're day trading. Now this is a tricky place because this is a trading hour and we've just closed the gap, okay? So what can happen here? Because this is Friday and it's a swing day, the market still has potential to come down. So although I've put an arrow here because this is a logical place and we've got a good buy kiss happening here, okay, you have to understand that the market can still push down to a target we've ascertained before, 1237 down here. If the market comes into 1237 at a trading hour, because it's a swing day, you're good to buy that too, okay? And that's kind of like the way to go about it, okay? And additional hours here in the morning is going to be before London. It's like 9:30 here. Okay, that's that. So buying the low to push up is okay. 1391 is a good buy kiss there, okay? And you also got to look out for 1360. On the PST I've got 60, 1392, 1360 is on the price. So if the market goes up, just need to be mindful about these target zones. All right, so that's like trade management zones if the market goes up. Also on this one, if you do top to top, okay, we're there, right? So pull back to go up is like okay with this one. I'm okay to like buy to go up. All right, so let's take a look at SP500. Now SP500 said yesterday as well, Thursday swing day. I don't have a swing day for this, okay, but this is the green box. All right, so this is your zone. On the weekly 49, remember we had that 5659, 5659, pretty much there. All right, and that was Thursday swing day. All right, so selling again is not a bad idea. All right, and that's doable. So selling again is okay. This is not a bad spot for change in the market actually. And if I was to do one, let's do one then, shall we? Alright, so that's there. I've placed in there. So this is a trading hour, okay? Because I'm doing the video as we speak when I've entered the trade here, I don't want to be standing in front of it if I go above the PST level, okay? So I don't want to be in front of it. And that's your weekly there, alright? Now, Thursday was the swing day. Thursday makes a high. Market retraces, fills in the gap. Okay, that's your gap fill. It's a trading hour. So if we're going to be there, we're going to be there. All right. Now the other hour, like I said, is this 9:30 we've got to look out for. Okay. But this is also not a bad spot. Okay, this zone here. So with 9:30, I'll check it out as well. Now normally I don't trade on Fridays, but this is not a bad trade to take on the SP500. And if that does hold, we can cover the trade here, okay, and then there's room to come back to where the market took off in this zone again. All right, and if that Thursday does work, we should at least have a bit of a retracement, which should cover the trade. If it goes up first, like I said, I don't want to be in front of it in any case, because, you know, if it goes up, it can keep going up according to the weekly. All right, that's the blue bar. All right, so we're using it as impulse, retracement, sell-off. Now the market may take stop sweeps way above there as well. That's a weekly chart, so it's like way up there. That's why you don't want to stand in front of it, okay? But this is not a bad spot. No gaps here, maybe just a teeny bit here. Let's mark that in too. But even if that's the case, you don't want to be putting a stop loss up there. All right, so we're just entering nice and easy. If Thursday was correct as a swing day, we should at least come back to cover the trade, whatever. And if it keeps pushing down, then it's keep pushing down. On the daily, 51, 5480. 5480 is down here. Okay, and that's the daily support. All right, so we'll see how that pans out. In any case, we're all covered. Now, as you can see, the risk return, the trade where I'm covering it is larger than the stop. Okay, so that's 135 buck risk. That's 165 return. So if I cover it, everything is covered. If I push further down, that's a $600 mark. All right, so I've got two positions open. If you want, you can have one position open, and that's $600 there. So for the risk I'm taking in total, if I cover the trade, great. And then if it turns against me, there's no loss. If things go both in my direction, it should be okay. Remember, if you're opening two positions, the second one must be at least 1 to 3 away. Okay, and if you're going to cover the trade, the coverage must be at least the size of your stop loss, so you can actually cover it. Okay, sometimes the price level, the daily pivot, or even here, you see there's a gap there. The market should probably come down here as well. But at the end of the day, what you want to do is make sure you can cover your trade and then let the rest ride. All right, so we'll see how things pan out on that. Let's take a look at Dow Jones and NASDAQ and Bitcoin. Now with Dow Jones, we had Monday, Wednesday, and with NASDAQ we had Wednesday. With the indices, we're still up in the same place. So Wednesday turned out to be a low, all right, there. And then that was a Wednesday. SP 500 was a Thursday. So Wednesday turned out to be a sharp down to push up. But we talked about this as well. I said, look, we're like above the PST, so market coming down to go back up is also a bit tricky. And I did say, you know, price, you know, these are a bit sticky. Okay, like I think that was a term I used. So with Dow Jones as well, you can see it's just small bars making chop movements, not the best of places to trade. Okay, so we can just wait on this one, just let it go, let it wait, fill in the gaps. There's some room to fill in here, as you can see. This is why if you're going to open any position, just don't do heavy selling. All right, the selling really should be in this zone. All right, we like get up here and then we sell off. Okay, I can now move this actually into this blue bar here, and this should be the sell, and I need to take the wick into account. Okay, there. So there's still a bit of room to get up there, and we should be careful about it. Okay, and this is the goodbye kiss line here, which is already done, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Okay, so it's a little tricky on this. If you want to buy, you can on the lower end. If it comes down to go up, you can, but it's Friday, 49.48. What is that price? 40,172, 40,334. Right, so if it dips down here and you want to go up, fine. The resistance is on the LCL1 line, which is 41,361. 41,361. 41,361. LCL1, that's your LCL1 there, okay, 41,361. So that's the first resistance there. So it's a little bit in between. On the weekly, yeah, still got room to go up on the weekly, okay. So the SP 500 might also go up. If it comes back into the pivot, we'll be safe because the trade will be covered. Other than that, there's not much to talk about. Okay, with Dow Jones, I wouldn't really do any selling until we go a little bit higher on this. Okay, let's take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ had a swing day Wednesday. And Wednesday is that day there. As you can see, it's kind of like slightly closed the gap. The gap is there. Alright, it's this one, not that one. There. And that's the top there. So we still have a bit of maybe room to stop sweep or whatever. But NASDAQ, that's your Wednesday, Thursday. Okay. So this might also still push up a little bit. We'll have to see. Obviously buying here is just, just not the way to go. We're already at the tops there. Okay. So not much to talk about here. And this here, as you can see, the whole week is like very tricky. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's just like in the middle of nowhere. So this is why trading in the middle of nowhere is not a good idea. Pick the edges, sell on the edges, buy on the edges, and that's the way to go. All right, and also we're kind of like at the top on the daily. Weekly, we still might go up a little bit, but at the end of the day, this is a place where the market can slow down. Okay. Yeah, it can slow down. We could be at a high somewhere in the evening as well with this. But at the end of the day, New York should determine. If New York has a direction at 4:45, that direction should continue at least until 8 and then probably to closing as well. So if we find direction in New York at 4:40, that should kind of like flow through into the closing. All right, so you can wait to trade that time as well. You're not in a rush. Bitcoin, we had Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we've got a Sunday and a Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, okay, so that is there, which I've marked in Tuesday, Wednesday, so that was a stop out. Okay, Tuesday, Wednesday, market still going up. This zone, we're still in the green bar. I talked about a stop sweep on this one as well, the market did. Okay, but this zone obviously was a bit tricky as well yesterday. I did say it's sticky because we kind of like can break out and push up. So these levels are on there. So once a PST breaks out, it's got room to push up. So it's a bit tricky. Again as well, it's not a swing day today. You might want to wait and chill out on this one and not rush it. And that's the good buy kiss on the weekly. And that's the 61 on the weekly, 98,458. 98,458. All right, so around that zone there. Okay, so these are still highs. I'm not, it's not the best place to be buying. Okay, I don't like to buy the tops. So if you're going to do any trading, either wait for the swing day or wait for your technical analysis reversal kind of setup, whichever one you're doing, and trade the highs for a sell. And that's about it. Okay, still a bit to go there. So if you're going to do selling, that might be the price level to look out for. If the market comes to that price at a trading hour, then you say, okay, let's sell on that one because we're at the highs on the PST, and then cover the trade pretty much close or on this line here, because that's the high of yesterday. If it breaks above the high of yesterday, we keep breaking above the highs, then obviously it might have room to go up. So it's a bit sticky and tricky, all right, like I said yesterday. So might be worthwhile just waiting for swing days, Sunday, Monday, to see where we end up. Okay, and if you want to buy these levels, then do it with a smaller lot size, because this is where they sold heavy. You don't want to get yourself into trouble around here with a buy. If it goes pear-shaped, definitely use a stop loss or a confirmation, like things are really breaking out kind of thing.